On a cold and dark Friday night, a young couple had just completed their long journey into the mountains for a weekend away at an extremely secluded and exclusive resort hotel. Earlier that day, the man had surprised his girlfriend by picking her up from work with her bags already packed. The girl was very impressed and was excited to stay at what looked like a beautiful and luxurious hotel. When they entered the lobby, they were slightly unsettled that not only was there no one at the reception to greet them, there was no one to be seen anywhere. At first she thought that her boyfriend had failed to make a booking, but then she noticed their key just left on the desk with a tag that read, Davis, room 75. Figuring that the hotel had some staffing issues, they took the key and made their way up to the room. When they got to their room, they were both a little surprised at what they saw. The furnishings of the room were extremely dated. In fact, it was so old there was no ensuite bathroom. They would have to use the communal one, which was located all the way at the other end of the cold, dark hallway. The room also had iron bars on the inside of the windows. For security reasons, they figured, but it still certainly seemed a bit off-putting and did nothing to add to a warm, romantic atmosphere. They decided they could bear this for one night, and once they managed to see some staff members, they would ask for another room, or just leave. They got settled in, and the woman ventured down the hall and enjoyed a nice hot shower. At least the water is hot and the bathroom is clean, she thought to herself. It was then she thought she heard voices. She turned off the water and listened intently. What she heard next chilled her to the bone. It was a man's voice, saying they would come tonight to take the girl. This sent a shiver through her spine, and she immediately finished her shower in order to get out of there. She peered out from behind the door, expecting to see someone, and, to her surprise, the hallway was completely empty. She went back to the room and then told her boyfriend what she had heard. He told her she was crazy, as he's had a look around while she was showering. There was no one in the entire hotel. It would appear that they're completely alone. They went to bed and were surprised at how comfortable the bed actually was. They both drifted off to sleep quickly. That was until the woman heard a noise. Someone's trying to get in, she thought. She called out to her partner. Dave, someone's coming, she said. Don't be ridiculous, he said. It's probably the wind. Look, we're completely safe. The door is locked and bolted, and the windows have bars, right? No one can get in here. This made her feel mildly better. However, she still couldn't fully get settled, especially since what she had heard earlier had crawled back into her mind. Suddenly, she heard a noise again. Then she looked over the end of the bed at the fireplace. The fireplace, she thought. They're going to come down the chimney. She got out of bed and looked up the chimney. Dave, wake up, she said. The chimney's not secure. They might come down here. Dave had woken up. In fact, he'd been awake the entire time, waiting to open the door. He let in two men in dark robes. They entered the room and stared directly at the girl. The girl knew they had come for her. She tried to scream, but couldn't. What the hell is going on, she thought. Dave, what have you done? Why? It appeared that he didn't care at all. Dave did nothing as the two cloaked figures moved closer and closer to his girl. They grabbed the girl and dragged her down the hall, off into the darkness. As it turns out, a week earlier, Dave had incurred some massive losses at a mafia-run blackjack game. He had no way to pay his debts, so he offered up his girlfriend. They accepted, and then they set up the stay at the hotel to make it happen. Dave left the hotel, relieved that his debt was clear, without a hint of guilt at what he'd just done.